tonight I was kind of looking at a few old folk songs. And this one here, you'll recognize it. You should anyways. It's probably from way back in your childhood because it comes from way back. In fact, it was a 16th century song from Scotland, a folk song. It was made famous by Elvis, Bob Dylan. I don't know, there's just so many people that have sung this song. But it is in public domain, so I don't have to worry about copyrights. And I'm not going to sing the whole thing because it has probably 20 verses. Have you guessed it yet? Probably not. Let me give you one more clue. It's about a frog. No, it's not Jeremiah. That song's not that old. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to sing it to you. And I'll do the best I can with that part. I'm just going to leave it right here. You got to put up with me here now. Okay, you ready? You still wondering what song it is? Well, frog went a-courting, he did right. Frog went a-courting, he did right. Frog went a-courting, he did right. Sword and pistol by his side. Well, he rode right up Miss Mousie's door. Do you remember it? Rode right up Miss Mousie's door. He rode right up Miss Mousie's door, and he gave 3 raps and a big loud roar. Said Miss Mouse, were you within? She said, Said Miss Mouse, are you within? Said Miss Mouse, are you within? Yes, I am, and I sit and spin. Well, he took Miss Mouse on his knee. Took Miss Mouse on his knee. Well, he took Miss Mouse on his knee. Said, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? And like I said, I'm not going to sing all of the verses to that, but that song goes way, way, way back. And if you look it up, you can find the chords everywhere. And all the verses, but the song goes on to talk about how she had to get her Uncle Rat's consent, and then Uncle Rat ran downtown and got her a wedding gown, and they got the wedding supper all together, and they talked about how they had fried mosquitoes and black-eyed peas, and then the first to come was the moth, and then it went on to the June bug, and there was all these visitors, and it finally comes up to a cat who ends up eating the rat and the mouse. Anyways, it has a bad ending because they get eaten in the end. I don't know what happens to Frog. Anyways, that's the song. And it's a really old song. And if you've been camping and you had to come up with songs for around the campfire, this surely was one that would come up off and on. I don't think we ever sang all the verses because we didn't know them, but we probably got up to her asking to get married. So that was kind of a fun folk song. So I have another one I want to share with you, but before I do, I was going to talk about a couple of dates that's coming up. Let me bring this up so I can make sure I get it right. Okay, so we're going to have a live coming up on February the 18th. It'll be at 5:30 p.m. California time. So if you go under the live tab, you'll see it. It's already there. And, you can mark it and put it on your calendar and also mark it so that it'll send you an alarm. So it is there if you want to join us, and do so. You'll have fun. We'll come up with something fun to do. So that's coming on February 18th. But then I have another one that's for members only. So if you're a member out there, that one's going to be February 11th. That's not going to be a super long one, but I just want to, touch bases with you. I had a little questionnaire I wanted to go over with you, but also we want to prepare for an event that's happening on February the 24th. This is members only. We're going to have a Zoom call, and several of you have already sent me emails. So if you're someone that's a member and you want to be part of that Zoom call where we can actually see each other, and the first Zoom call, we're going to do a show and tell. Everyone's going to have to bring their favorite guitar and show it. We'll get to see each other and talk, and it'll be a lot of fun. So that's going to come up on February the 24th at 5 p.m. It won't be super long, but I'll be sending out to those people that send me an email. They'll get back the Zoom link, but you have to be a member or I won't send it back to you. Okay, so this is a members only thing that we're doing. Okay, so those are the events that are happening on the Guitar Notes and Notions, and I hope you all join us because we'll have a lot of fun. All right, so that was that, and let me go back to this next thing that I want to do. I hope everybody's doing good out there, and it's been super rainy here in California. We had so much rain today. I mean, it just filled the pool up in the backyard. I don't know how many inches fell. Now, I think they have flood watches for tonight, but everything's fine here. We're cozy here in this house. So, okay, so here we go. Yeah, so anyways, I have this another one of these folk songs, and this one, actually, it's also in the public domain. So if you want to look it up, it's called the Hobos Lullaby. And Woody Guthrie, he sang it, but I don't know that he wrote it. It says by him. I don't know if he wrote this or not, or if he just, came up with this version. It is a song that was written during the Great Depression. And during that time, there were hobos everywhere. And one of the privileges that I get in going to church, it's like a family. Well, I get to talk to a lot of different people, and I've had a lot of grandmas because of it. When you go to church, you get a family, and with it comes adopted grandparents. And so I've had several of them, and they would tell stories about hobos coming to their house during the Great Depression. In fact, they not only came to their house, but if they were a good house, there was a code system that the hobos had that they would mark the houses with that were good houses. So if they were someone that they could go to and get something to eat, they generally would show up off the trains because they were always on the move on the trains looking for jobs. And they would look for these marks on homes. It wasn't just marks for food. There were marks if they had a vicious dog. There were marks for, finding where you might find some work. But the hobos traveled during the Depression just looking for work and looking to survive. And perhaps it was just hard times. I don't know. But during the Depression, jobs were hard to come by. So they would jump on these boxcars and they would find places that they could actually work and find places where they might eat. And I think they had encampments where they gather with different people and support each other. But anyways, I have this old song that was written, and Woody Guthrie, who is a well-known for his folk singing, he usually played this. He usually played it in G, and it's just a very simple song about the hobos. I guess he must have been concerned about it because he sang about it. And it's interesting because it kind of reminds me now with the homeless, you can kind of see where some of this actually has some, there sort of goes parallel with it. But I'm just going to just give you a little bit of it. Let's see how it goes. Or the hobos. I guess they'll tell you there's a difference between homeless and hobo. A hobo traveled the railroads. So it was a little bit different than the homeless. They tend to encamp where the hobos kept moving. Although now I guess we've got a lot of people that live in their RVs and they call themselves nomads. So when I was traveling, we called ourselves hippies. But it was a little bit different. This is the Hobos. Now, I've had opportunities to jump on railroad cars, but in the 70s, it was not a safe thing to do. At least that's what I had heard. Well, come on in, Bernice. You can come in. Come on. Come here. Come on. Open the door. Come on in. What do you want? What's going on? Oh, yes, I'm glad to see you too. Well, we're just getting ready to do this little song. Would you like to sing? Okay, all right. I don't need kisses right now, no. But you're a very good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you're a very good girl. Yeah, all right. Okay, that's good. All right, get down now and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. So we've had some messages come across that we might have a power outage. So as I try to put this together, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm trying to do folk song night. And so far I've just been interrupted one thing after another. But right now we have rains happening. And so we had this little power outage in our area. It hasn't affected my house, but they're warning that it just might. So I had to go get flashlights and put them all around and make sure we're ready for it. Get the jackery out so I have backup power. And I think we're going to be all right. All right, so here we go. We're going to do a hobo song. We're going to try to do it. And if the power goes out around me, you'll know what happened. Okay, here we go. Well, go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Listen to those steel wheels humming. That's a hobo's lullaby. And don't you worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow come and go. Tonight you're in a nice warm boxcar, safe from all the wind and snow. I know policemen cause you troubles, 'cause they trouble everywhere. But when you die and go to heaven, you'll find no policemen there. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Listen to the steel rails humming. That's a hobo's lullaby. So that's the hobo song that I was talking about. That was quite an era back then. The Great Depression. All right, well, we're going to call that a day or a night. And we're going to end it right here. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in